Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly, and it is Tuesday, December 13th, 2016, and I've been busy. I actually managed to get 2 Christmas presents fully finished, and I have another one that is finished. I haven't fully finished it though. And I have a WIP update, and I have a lot of haul. I made a couple of orders today, not cross-stitch related, and I think that's going to be the end of it for a while. Have to put the brakes on. I am doing Stitch from Stash January to July of next year, and to be honest, I could do all of my crafting probably for the rest of my life without buying anything, period. I even have a lot of glue, so oh well. Anyway, life is short. You might as well do what makes us happy, right? Right. So, let's see. Well, first I'll show you the WIP I worked on. And it is a Barbara Anna's design, and it's part 5. And there is a Facebook group dedicated to this. McKenna from Every Stitch Counts, I believe, started it. And most people are much further ahead than I am. But I stopped stitching on other WIPs and focused on my Christmas projects for the last month or so to try to get them completed. And I'm not going to unwrap it. I do have the other side. The building on the other side is done too. I have to do the underwater things and some of the above water. But for this time I worked a little bit more on the ship, did the windows, and I put the whale in. This is a lot of fun to stitch, Barbara Anna. And I can tell you, let's see if I can find the tag, that this is done on, I think this is 32 count limestone linen. I guess I can't find the tag. I'm pretty sure that's 32 count limestone. Not sure by who. But I'm having a lot of fun with this. Oh, and this is part of my haul. These are part of Frank Edmonds' scroll rods that you can get on Amazon. I think it's a set of 3. There's a long set, a medium set, and this set. And it comes with 2 sets of the bars. This is the shorter set. The other set's a little bit longer. And then it comes with 8 of these little ball tightener things. And it has caps, like a Q-snap, which is good. I mean, these things are incredibly tight. Bad news is these hands don't work so well. So it's really hard for me to get these things on and off, which is the problem I was having with Q-snaps too. But that's okay. I'll put felt in between, and then I'll be able to pull the fabric. I was just in a hurry to work on it last night, so I didn't bother. And it was the first time using those scroll rods, and I really do like them. Oh, before I go any further, Kara at Kay's Cross Stitch, she had her shirt on, and she said it was her favorite Christmas shirt. And I thought that was a great idea. I was going to wear my favorite Christmas shirt. But then a day last week I planned on doing a video, and then I didn't get to the video. So needless to say, my favorite seasonal shirt is in the wash. But that's okay. It says Walking in a Winter Wonderland, and it's a really muted blue, and it's got muted colors, and it's a snow scene with evergreen trees, and I think there's a couple in a horse and carriage doing a winter sleigh ride, and it's a really pretty shirt. I really like it. Plus it's big, and it's comfy, and I can't ask for more than that. This is another shirt. It's not seasonal. It's one of my favorites. It's more nautical. It's red and dark blue and creams, and it has compasses and things on it. But what I want to point out is there's a whole other world out there, online and in the world, and it's cloth dolls. And I belonged over the years to quite a few different doll groups, and this is one of the pins I got in a swap from another cloth doll maker. Because what the group was every month their partners were set up and you swapped themed pins that you made for the month, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I really enjoyed these groups, and when my husband died, a lot of my enthusiasm waned, and I'm just getting back into things now in the last couple of years, and I've moved on away from cloth dolls, but it still has a really close place in my heart. And this it's like almost like a Cheshire Cat, kind of for you Alice in Wonderland fans, but it's a Christmas one. And he's obviously gotten into the Christmas lights because he's got a whole strand of Christmas lights kind of wrapped around his body, and he's wearing his little Christmas stocking cap, and he has stop saying and use my words, like bicone crystals around the end of the cap and a hand-painted face. These were a lot of fun. So anyway, a lot of groups out there, not just cross stitch. Although I haven't seen them on YouTube. Pretty much out in the Facebook groups and things. Anyway, let me now show you. I showed you my WIP. I put about 50 stitches in my Hage yesterday, my garden shed, and I didn't see it as enough progress to bring that huge thing down because I got the enlarged pattern and I have it in a binder because it's like 64 pages long. So needless to say, my little bit on the one corner of page 1 isn't a whole lot of progress. But I promise I'll work on it some, and when I think I've got it going pretty good, I'll be sure to bring it down and show. So let me show you my finish first. And this is a finish. This is the stitch that I'm doing for my uncle. I'm not sure now if I am going to turn it into a journal cover. If I can find the right book, I will. But it may just wind up being framed so he can hang it. And this is a case, Ivana, the Twisted Stitcher, she was talking about using sections of like the cottage house designs and Plum Street samplers and making ornaments out of sections. Well, I do that too, and I talked about it in another video. But as you can see, this is the design that I did for my uncle. But for this, all I did, let me try to get the pattern out of the picture, was the dog and the flower with the bee. And so I used selective, artistic selection, I guess, to make that decision. And then if I get this really close, you'll see the bee kind of blended into the dog. And I wasn't really happy about that because I couldn't even see the wings separated on the pattern. So what I did was I used some glow-in-the-dark thread for the non-beaded squares, and then I put some clear white-lined beads in for the wings of the bumblebee. And I even, although you can't see it, I don't think, I added a French knot for the bee's eye because there was no eye on the bee. And I thought that came out kind of cute. So this is Rowdy for my uncle. And then I do have 2 fully finished. And so you'll guys be happy to know. If you follow me on Instagram, I showed pictures of these finishes yesterday. And I've got them fully finished, and I've actually put the frames back in the boxes for sending out. This is my expendables, and this frame was a matte gray with some distressing, and it was a plain white matte. And I have to say I did not like the gray frames, but it was pretty much all I could find at AC Moore the day I was there looking, and they were 50% off, so they were $10 a piece. So I bought them, but then I brought them home and I spray painted them. I used a flat blue finish, and then I used a blue Rust-Oleum metallic finish, and then I sprayed over that with a lacquer. So I like these frames a lot better now. I used a piece of mat board and I did some stitching just to hold two sides together on this one. And then I decorated the mat, and I think my brother will really like this. So that's how Expendables finished. And the frame went back together perfectly. I couldn't have asked for anything better, so I like the way it turned out, and I think my brother will too. And now for my pièce de résistance. Sorry if I butchered the French. This is the Queen of Hearts, and this is how she finished. And again, same mat, same frame, and I just painted them, and then I added the decoration on the mats. And I think my sister-in-law will really like this. And I did do a short video of me putting the mat board on the back and sewing around the edge just to hold it in place. And then I used a double-sided tape and kind of secured it into the frame. But as you can see, it all went back together very well into the frame. And I did a short video showing me putting the whole thing back together, and I'll put that in right here. This is just a short clip of me trying to frame my Queen of Hearts piece. I have a long piece of my silicone beading filament, doubled over and knotted. This is a piece of like mat board, and this is the back of my Queen of Hearts. And then she's washed and ironed, and here she is. And my initials and the year are at the bottom of the piece, and it won't show in the frame, but I know it's there, and if in the future it ever is unframed, then my initials and the year it was wrought will be available. So all I'm doing right now is trying to center her a little bit, because this isn't really going to show either. This is more for stability, is to put that piece of mat board in the center and just pull the top and bottom edges down. And then I'm going up through the fabric, and I'm going to catch inside the double loop of thread at the top over here, and then I'm coming down at a slight angle, coming up through the 18 count beige Aida that came with the Mill Hill Gym Shore kit, and catching the bottom piece, and then at another angle just going up and catching it again, pulling it a little tight, not too tight. I did zigzag around the edges of this before I started doing my cross stitch, so I am going up beyond my sewing lines, so because if I didn't, all I would be doing is fraying the Aida. Alright, so one more. Sorry if my hands are in the way, but I'm trying to keep myself out of the way, and I can't really see that well from this angle. Okay, now I'm going to hold this tight and just flip it over. And that looks pretty good. Like I said, it doesn't really matter because this isn't quite the size. I have an 8x10 frame, and the mat is a 5x7 mat. So I'm just putting the mat board behind the cross stitch for stability purposes. I'm going to put another strand there, and I will pull that, and I think everything looks fairly tight. So now I'm just going to knot it off right here. I just finished my Expendables piece, and I did it pretty much the same way as far as the mat board and kind of whip stitching it into place. Okay, and this is one of the quilting betweens, the little petite needles that I like. So let me turn that over, and there's the queen. And this isn't, I mean, I could still adjust this if I needed to. Let me go get my mat, and we'll try that. Okay, so here's my mat. And this 5x7 opening is pretty much just big enough for this piece. So I will center it behind here, and I've actually been tacking this down using like a Sequin two-sided or double-sided adhesive tape, and that's been working pretty well. Let me see. Should still be here because I don't think I've put anything away. There, it's over there. So here's the tape I've been using to adhere it. And yeah, we're having a snow day here. We've had a blizzard in New York, so all the schools are closed. So we're taking advantage, playing Christmas music, making candies, and finishing up Christmas projects. So I hope you like this short view, and back to my regular update. Those were a lot of fun, and I finished both of them yesterday. So I've been watching YouTube, and a lot of new YouTube. And I watched, I think, Danielle's video I watched early this morning, and my prayers are with her because she's in surgery today. And my prayers are with her. I was really happy to hear that her DNA test came back negative. So that's a wonderful thing. Now I just hope the rest of it goes as well. And I don't usually do shout outs, but I did watch two new YouTubers this morning, and one of them was Queen of Quite a Lot, also known as Made by Mama Joan. And she was really not sure that she's going to continue with FlossTube, but her daughter Chaz was on with her, and Chaz kept her going. She did really well. She's got some impressive projects. She has a very huge Christmas stocking that was just great. So I hope that she continues doing YouTube videos because this is such a wonderful community. And I think that she's going to be selling project bags. And her daughter, I think, was handling a lot of that for her. And I think her Facebook group might be Made by Mama Joan. I'm not sure. And she's on Instagram, but it has a different name, something about Nanny Joan, maybe, because her grandchildren follow her there. And then I watched Philip. He's a British cross-stitcher, another male stitcher. Welcome, Philip. He was really interesting. He did a Know Your Needle Worker tag, and he's got some really impressive projects too. He's a full coverage cross stitcher, and he's doing a country mouse and a city mouse by Haid. And you're right, Philip, the reflection on that teapot is phenomenal. And if you haven't seen his first video, go look. I mean, it's amazing. And he did a really beautiful stocking for his partner, Nigel. It's fabulous, really fabulous. And I was so happy to hear you say Poirot, because I love that show. I like mysteries and things along the vein of Agatha Christie. And Poirot is just wonderful. So, and I also made a note of The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins that he said was one of his favorite books. He made it sound like an excellent book, so I intend to go check that book out too. And so if you get a chance, check both of them out if you haven't seen them already. So it's been a month for me. I was going to do a video last week, but last week I wound up having to have some pretty heavy-duty plumbing done. Thank goodness it happened before the snow we just got dumped on, because they had to dig out my septic tank. It was pumped. My drain, it was an old cast iron drain, it was failing. So they had to reroute pipes in my cellar to go around my chimney, which is my regular furnace chimney, nothing exciting chimney, and back out through another part of my cellar wall, pump my septic tank, put it on risers, lifted it up. So now I live in the country, so I have a dirt driveway, and it's, you know, it's a driveway. I found out my septic tank is only about 6 feet from my house. And now I have what looks like a manhole cover in my driveway, which I'm not supposed to drive on. Don't know how that works, because you can't drive to the left of it either, because there's some valve over there you shouldn't drive on. It just gets better. I haven't seen the bill for that yet. I'm dreading it. Oh well, life goes on. Could be so much worse. A little bit of plumbing. I don't intend to move out of this house. I've got so much money sunk into just stupid stuff. It needs cosmetic work, but oh well. I'm going to live in it the way it is. Homey, comfy, a little bit old, but it's good. I love it. Wouldn't live in the city for anything. I'm definitely a country mouse. So anyway, all that being said, it's all taken care of now. Everything is good. And I'll move on to my haul. This, outside of two rather large orders that weren't cross-stitched, like I said, that I placed today. One for stamp stuff from Heartfelt Creations, and one for beads from Firemountain Gems. Both things I need, like I need a hole in my head, just like I need more cross-stitching stuff. Can't live long enough to use it, but I've got it, so if I ever want it, I don't have to go very far. I bought myself on Amazon another one of these 82-piece tiny container bead storages. This is my second one. The first one I bought at AC Moore, I had a 55% off coupon, and they weren't very expensive at AC Moore. They were only like 30 bucks. So I got the first one for $15. And on Amazon with Prime, this one was just about 20, 22, somewhere in there. So that wasn't too bad, and I have lots of beads. I will say that I will buy the Delicas and the Mayuki. The only Mill Hill beads I have are beads that have come in kits. Like the Queen of Hearts was Mill Hill beads, and I don't like the quality of Mill Hill. The beads are not uniform. The inside holes aren't uniform. So I mean, you kind of have to pick and choose, or else your beads are all wonky. So I have a lot of beads I've ordered through Firemountain Gem, or I've gotten at different companies, and I check that. I try to get things that are consistent for my beadwork and things like that. That was the only thing I had about that Queen of Hearts. There were two things. I didn't like the quality of the beads, and I didn't like the floss. The floss in that kit, the ecru maybe, like shredded. I had to be really careful, use short lengths, and it just like pulled apart, the fibers pulled apart. And I just bought the kit not that long ago. I mean, I started it as soon as I got it because I knew I wanted to make it for my sister-in-law. So it was this year, like halfway through the year I started it. So I was really disappointed with that. So I will be very careful buying kits. I'm not really a kit person, although I did just buy a kit from Hirschner's. So, but anyway, that's my impression of the Mill Hill kit that I did for the Queen of Hearts. And so I said I placed an order for Hirschner's, and let me get there. for Hirschner's, I ordered, where's the rest of it? Oh, I did order that from Hirschner's. Okay. I got one of these Gold Collection Petites. This was part of my coupon that I got for when Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine. So I loved this. I thought this was adorable, and it is a kit, and it came with the Ada and the floss. So I just think that that snowman is beautiful, and that little girl. So I will stitch that up. And then I also got the Snow Queen. I don't know when I'll get to this, but she's beautiful, and when I showed it to my daughter told me that she thought that that kind of resembled my Snow Queen. Of course, my Snow Queen is a cloth doll, and she isn't anything near as beautiful, but she does have a cape, and she's made of blues, and so that was nice of my daughter to say that. So that was my Hirschner's order. You know, I also, and I don't have that down here, but I also bought the double cat bookshelf, and I want to get the double dog bookshelf, which are Hayes. I'm crazy that way. But I don't have that double cat bookshelf down here to show you. But everybody's seen it. I think it's beautiful. And I have a thing for cats, as everyone knows. So, And just to prove my point, I also bought this, and I'm not sure where I got it, but it was a Heaven and Earth design. And it's a mini Leslie's Cats at Halloween, and its artwork is by Leslie Ann Ivory. I just love that. I think that's beautiful. Yep. Crazy. Crazy town. That's me. It's where I live. And then I did get some books. One of the books I got, and I haven't had time to look at this, but I've really been waiting for this book because it's got some stuff in it I really like, is this What Delilah Did, and it's Storyland cross stitch. And see the box? But it says, "Welcome to the magical world of What Delilah Did." It says, "Step inside and explore the splendiferous wonders of Storyland cross stitch. Here be beasties from long, long ago." And I'm looking because I want to try to, I've said it before, I want to try to make a sampler. So here's a crown, which I can see at the top of the sampler. And then there are magical beasts like the jackalope, the unicorn, and oh, that's a frog prince. And then there are, I can't show that, those are all patterns. There's a tree and the unicorn, and it shows it framed with hoops. So anyway, these are all so cool. There's this wise owl. There's a wolf with a bird inside. And it talks about finishing, you know, to do finished pieces. And there's a shield that's got the axe and star and heart. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this book. I really have been looking at this book for a long time. And to go along with that, I also picked up What Delilah Did, and this is the gardening. This is the Secret Garden, and it's embroidery. So, and this is cross stitch too, but it's also embroidery. And here's a like a March hare type deal. So I mean, I love these books. So I'm looking forward. I look forward to books just to be able to sit and look at the books. If I stitch out of them, it's even better. Now I also got this book, Picture It in Cross Stitch by, I think it's Joe Verso. This book, I think, will help a lot in trying to design my own sampler type thing, because it talks about the different parts of a sampler. And then it gives examples of like houses. I'm trying to find something I can show you without... I mean, it also has taking sections of samplers and using them in cards. You can tell this is a used book because it came with a postcard from a while ago, a long time ago. But it has sections, and it's got people, it's got houses, it has alphabets. Unfortunately, they're not really set up where I could just show you. Like, it has things like this, but each of the elements is broken out into a section, and she talks about it, which I think is going to be very helpful. So that's another book. And then Donna Cooler, Carousel Horses in Cross Stitch. And what can I say? There are sections of these that I think would make great individual stitches. I like the Valentine's Day one. See if I can see what you're seeing. Okay, Valentine's Day. There's several in here I really like. I think I liked these are not things I could stitch in a month. Somebody asked me how many hours I spend stitching, and I really focused on cross stitching this last month to get my Christmas designs done. But generally I don't sit and stitch a long time, and I'm a fairly slow stitcher. But I love this Halloween. My clock stopped chiming. It does that when I remember to wind it, and it keeps me company. So let's see. And then I got from Hershner's, I bought both of the hardcover books. I mean, they were $2.99. And I know that everybody said don't buy this book, that all the designs are in other magazines, but the book is beautifully made. It's really nicely bound. It has got gorgeous charts in it. And, I mean, look at the stained glass window. Isn't that beautiful? I understand that this isn't everyone's taste. And, but it's got all the gingerbread house builds in it. The 3D ones. And it has some cute ornaments like that cat and the angel. And I'm not going to do a full flip through of this book, but I have to say I disagree that it's not worthwhile, because it does have some really nice designs in it, and not everybody has the magazines, so worthwhile. And then I also got this one that a lot of people have shown, and this does have some really beautiful things in it too. I love this Santa train. That's cute. Okay, and then I kind of hit it. I did join the Under the Sea SAL with cross stitch. Yeah, Under the Sea SAL, the Doreen Jones, and I'm looking forward to doing that. From Lakeside Needlecrafts. I didn't order the fabric, and I just watched little snips, and she showed the fabric that she got, and it's printed specifically for the Lakeside Needlecrafts for this SAL. So now I'm rethinking, but I can do it on my own fabric. I may even try to dye my own fabric, and I can always maybe get the fabric later if I really wanted it, because I need to chill my jets. So anyway, that's a SAL. That's the only SAL I've signed up for so far, although I am considering others. And then my last order from 123 Stitch, which, you know, I placed this order on the 8th, and they're in Utah, which is across the country from me here in New York, and I'm on part of the farthest east coast that you can get. I'm bumped right up against Vermont. And so I placed it on the 8th, and I think it was later in the day, and I got it yesterday. It amazes me how good the United States postal system is and how good our companies are at getting things out. So high praises for that. So the only chart I bought, and I have wanted this for a long time, and if it works out well for me, I'll buy the Jesus one too. But this is the Names of God in cross stitch by My Big Toe, and I think it's beautiful. It's just gorgeous, and it's only 2 colors, and I didn't buy the floss. I figure I'm going to convert this to DMC. Yeah, it calls for Gentle Art sampler threads, but I'm going to use DMC. And then I also ordered some fabric. Everybody talks about not liking Aida, but I don't have a problem with Aida. I'm kind of a lazy stitcher. I like to be able to see what I'm doing. And I mean, the 32 count, don't get me wrong, the linen is fine. I can use it, but I have to keep it in a frame. Aida, I can stitch in hand because the Expendables and the Queen of Hearts are both on Aida, and I stitched that, and the Expendables one is even on Aida. Excuse me. It is on Aida that I even dyed myself, and I think it came out really nice. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying Aida is all right for me in my book. And so this is 18 count Zweigart Aida. It's a yard, and it's 43 inches wide, and it's just opalescent. I don't think you can see the, it's opalescent, so it has the sparkle in it. So I don't know if the sparkle's going to come out, but it has the sparkle. And I'm very happy with that. And then I opened up this other bag. This was a fabric order because I have books and charts, but I didn't have a lot of fabric. But my fabric is growing. So I bought 2 more packages of John James Petite size 26 because you can't have enough of those. And I bought a Snag Nabbit. I've never had one before. I've always just used my needle to pull stuff back. But it was just over $1 and worth trying. And then I bought some 32 count lamb's wool. And it's a 36 by 55 inch piece. And this is all for stash. I figure I can cut it down and get several projects out of it. And then I bought a 28 count white opalescent just in a 13 by 18 because I wanted to try this. See, and looking at it, I can tell that's going to be interesting. I mean, my eyesight is good. I had cataract surgery in both of my eyes when I was 49, so that was 8 years ago. And I still don't need to wear glasses. I do wear magnifying glasses when I cross stitch. And I love this. This is beautiful. But 8 is easier. I'm lazy. Anyway, and I also bought a 28 count antique white, just a 9 by 13. I think this is an even weave. It could be a linen. I'm not sure. Oh, it's 28 count, so it's probably an even weave. And that was all I bought. Well, the 32 count lamb's wool is an even weave. The 28 count white opalescent is Lugana. So that's Lugana. And this is Lugana. So these are both Lugana. The lamb's wool is Joblin. You can tell I don't pay a lot of attention to fabric, and I really should be paying more attention. And I think that that's it. I think as soon as I get my uncle's, and this is my own dyed 18 count Ada also. As soon as I get this fully finished, I'm going to hopefully get back to my Princess and the Unicorn WIP, which I was really enjoying working on. Oh, and for the bees' wings, I was going to show this and I forgot. These are my dynamite seed beads, number 11. And I get these from Firemountain Gems. And this whole box of beads isn't terribly expensive. I think it's just over $2 on Firemountain Gems. And they're consistent, which is what I like. And they're in their own little handy storage pack. And I can't say enough good things about consistent seed beads, because I do other kinds of beading, and fighting with bead holes is not a fun thing when you're doing a big project. So that's it for me. I'm probably not going to do another video, at least I don't think I am, until after Christmas. We're going down to Disney World for 4 days at Christmas time. We'll be spending Christmas Day in the Disney resorts. We're going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So that's going to be a lot of fun. My granddaughters were just told yesterday, and they're excited. The day we leave will be my granddaughter Samantha's 11th birthday. So it's in part for her birthday and the other part for Christmas. And it's hard when you're a kid and your birthday is right around Christmas time, which probably many of you know. So she's looking forward to that. And we're talking about next year maybe setting up a Christmas, a birthday party centered around snow time sports like sledding and snowman building, if there's snow. We don't always have snow, even though this is upstate New York. There isn't always snow at Christmas time. Sometimes it doesn't come till after Christmas. We do have probably around a foot of snow outside right now. And it's supposed to be cold this week, so it's probably going to stick around. And my driveway did need to be plowed yesterday, so, and schools were closed. So it's winter in New York. And I'll be looking forward to going to where it's warmer, for a few days anyway. So for now, I hope that you have a happy, stitchy time, that your holidays, whichever ones you celebrate, are festive and filled with love. And Merry Christmas, and may the new year bring bright and happy times. So from my home to yours, happy days. Thanks for joining me. Bye.